Good morning, family members, friends, listeners, and saints. Welcome to Devotion from the Classroom with Auntie Karen, a quiet place where we learn from God's Word, find strength for today, and receive grace for the journey. This morning, our devotion is entitled Start Your Day with God. And we are in the book of Psalms, and we are looking at Psalm 5, verses 1 to 3. And it reads, Listen to my words, Lord, consider my lament. Hear my cry for help, my King and my God. For to you I pray in the morning, Lord. You hear my voice in the morning. I lay my requests before you and wait expectantly. Now, when we look at this psalm, we see that there is something so powerful about when we begin our day. Many people begin their day with worry. Some begin their day with checking their phones. Some begin their day with thinking about bills and problems and sickness and family struggles and disappointments. But David teaches us something different in Psalm 5. David says, in the morning, Lord, you will hear my voice. Before David faced his enemies, he faced God. Before he dealt with people, he talked to God. Before he carried his burdens, he placed them in God's hands. And that is why Psalm 5 is so important. When we pay attention to the background of this psalm, it reveals that David was surrounded by wicked people. He was dealing with oppositions and lies and betrayal and danger. Yet David did not allow his circumstances to determine his attitude. Instead, he brought everything to God. And I want you to pay attention to Psalm 1 to verse 1 in Psalm 5. He said, Give ear to my words, O Lord. David understood something many of us forget. He understood that God listens. And sometimes we feel as though nobody understands when we speak or what we are going through. But David reminds us that God hears every prayer. When words cannot be found, God hears. The God of heaven is listening. David says, Hearken unto the voice of my cry. I want you to notice that David is not simply praying politely, but he is crying out. This is the prayer of someone who desperately needs God. But those are the moments when God invites us to cry out to Him. A cry from the heart reaches heaven. Then David says something else in verse 3. He says, In the morning I will direct my prayer unto you and will look up. I love that phrase so much. And will look up. David prayed and then expected God to move. He did not pray and walk away defeated. He did not pray and continue worrying. He prayed and then looked up. David teaches us to pray and then look up. Look up because God is working. Look up because God is listening. Look up because God is still in control. So, saints, before we start our day tomorrow morning and every other morning, let us start our day with God. Remember, this is Devotion from the Classroom with Auntie Karen. Have an awesome day, everyone.